Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and we are going to talk about a story that was barely in the news, but is hopefully a realization for some of the people out there of how far warfare has actually gone in 2021 and what's actually being implicated. Now, we've gone over this document. We've gone over a lecture by Dennis Bushnell and some of these, future warfare tactics that he was presenting. And this document, again, from July of 2001, were things like blast wave accelerators, co-opted insects, and many of the things that have actually been declassified. And many people know that directed energy weapons in particular have absolutely been declassified. And we've even, talked about things like voice to skull. Now, let me talk about this for a second. It is extremely unfortunate that there are people who are obviously being subjugated to these type of very real weapons, and my inability to distinguish, one, whether it's happening, two, prove whether it's happening, and then three, present that kind of evidence in a manner where something could be done about it, right? So, over the years, obviously, a lot of people have come to me, but I remember in the last few years, there was a person that somehow got my address and mailed me a personal letter, and they were talking about how, they were a targeted individual, and, that's made its way into some of the media. And my problem is, I don't know how you prove something like that, right? I don't have the gear that would be able to even begin to think about how to scientifically make a case for somebody that's suffering from such a thing. But what we do know is that the MK Ultra experiments were not the first experiments, even in the United States, and surely not the last, that were done on human beings. We're now in a time period where we're openly talking about genetically modified human chimera organisms, at least being brought to the embryo level in public. What they've done underground is probably absurd, right? We can't really even begin to think about how dark that may be. But what we're going to do here is we're going to focus on a story where the White House is now talking about these weapons possibly being used in D.C. and very near to the White House. All right, and this kind of snuck into the media. I've wanted to do this for the last several days after seeing it, and I didn't want to sleep on it much longer. So, before we actually get into the story behind me, government worker in D.C. suffered headaches and nausea, first known U.S. case of Havana syndrome caused by suspected microwave weapons, says the White House. Now, you know me, I'm always skeptical of anything that comes out of an authoritative source like the White House or the State Department or the intelligence community, etc. But there is a basis to this stuff. And I think slowly but surely, no matter who was the targeted victim or why it happened or who was doing it, that these weapons are being utilized. Bill Binney, who I have a ton of respect for, and I think so many should, has now openly discussed that he believes he is being targeted with directed energy weapons. That's scary, right? That's frightening. So thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Join the Bermas Brigade. Let people know about the channel. Let people know that we actually document things here. Like, for instance, when I talk about blast wave accelerators, and we've talked about how spot on this document is. Okay, for instance, before we get there, let's put 2020 in there, right? And it says that the bio-nano age starts in 2020. In 2020, people began, again, being injected with mRNA technology, that is CRISPR tech, that is DARPA tech, that is nanotech, biologically implanted in people. This is from 2001. Okay? When I talk about things like blast wave accelerators. Oh, maybe I just have to type in blast. There it is. Blast wave accelerators. How cheap they're going to be. You know, excellent stealth. No plume. Affordability, ferocity, reaction time, survivability. Recalculability, effectiveness. Yes, and remember, everybody thinks NASA is such a great organization. Under me right here where you can't see, where it says the B right here, it says being worked at Aberdeen and NASA MSFC for lofting of fuel and nanosats. That's nanosatellites, by the way. All right, this was all being worked on 20 plus years ago. So if you're new to the channel, if you're just coming over from some Fauci and stuff, believe me, we do it and we do it big. So thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Remember, we're riding 2 strikes. We've been fully demonetized for quite some time. You want to financially support me, there are links below. But make a free Rockfin account. Remember to Rockfin, rock that fin. All right. And come on over to a place for free speech. All right, that's what we're talking about. Remember, I am a documentary filmmaker. They're all available in the playlist section down below. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find, and Shade the Motion Picture. Let's read it. The White House has revealed that mysterious health incidents that have been affecting American personnel based overseas have also been occurring in the U.S. You see, diplomats at other places have already been getting sick. Several potential incidents have occurred in the United States in 2019 and 2020 that appear similar to the previous suspected directed radio frequency attacks that caused a mysterious illness, and include one attack that happened near the White House. U.S. agencies are said to be investigating 2 possible incidents that appear similar to other mysterious illnesses impacted diplomats in Cuba and elsewhere, known as Havana Syndrome, after the first cluster of cases in the U.S. Embassy in Cuba. And again, so they're talking about this Cuban embassy. They're talking about things that are going on, you know, before this. At this point, at this moment, we don't know the cause of these incidents, which are both limited in nature and the vast majority of which have been reported overseas, said a White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, on Friday. So last Friday, as she acknowledged the newly reported case in the United States. I might have to go get that clip. Should have got it before this. One of the incidents occurred last year near the White House ellipse, in which a National Security Council staffer was sickened. Now, remember, the ellipse was where Trump gave his speech in January, which later led to the Capitol. So that gives people an idea of the range in D.C. And, you know, the idea that these directed energy weapons can be implemented in this country, possibly by entities within this country, but maybe ones that are controlled outside of this country. In another, a White House official reported feeling some symptoms while walking her dog in the Washington suburb of Arlington in 2019. Government investigators are examining a suspected attack on U.S. personnel in Miami last year. Since the first attacks were reported in Cuba and after in China, scientists and doctors are debating the causes of the effects without a uniform conclusion. More than 40 diplomats, as far back as 2016, have reported nausea, headache, dizziness, and other unexplained symptoms, triggering intense speculation. As U.S. government reports in December said, directed radio frequency was the most plausible explanation for the symptoms plaguing diplomats abroad. So silently, they're starting to come out on this, right? That's the deal. I think that's what people really need to understand. Let's see. Let's see. So, you know, ABC News did a piece about it. I think we're going to leave it at that. Okay. You guys you check out this document for yourself right here. It's easily found. You know, it's the Future Warfare 2025 document. There's 2 of them. This is the 113 pager, and we've gone over this. Remember, when you see all this, there it is, DARPA, oh, CIA, oh, ONI, Office of Naval Intelligence. You know, this is their futures work. NASA is a military-industrial complex front. It's bureaucrats like Bushnell that make this system work. I want to reiterate that Joe Biden runs nothing. Joe Biden runs nothing. Joe Biden runs nothing. Joe Biden runs absolutely nothing. He is a zombie. So remember, the Rockfin app is there. I am sorry people are asking me, can you tip on the Rockfin app? You cannot tip on the Rockfin app. That is very unfortunate. Although we do want to thank everybody who has been tipping out there with the Tipskis and Hutch. Let's go to one of them right now. Jim Garrison, hashtag cuff the Fauci. That's a Fauci reference. Gail P. Says, believing in your passion and knowledge of the balanced truth, keep fighting. You are strong, courageous. Thank you very much. 3000 Trin says, my man. And again, I want to thank all you guys for supporting me over there. At least make the free account. Come on over to the Rockfin for the good stuff. Premium members get all the premium content. It's like a Netflix for creators. And I'm pushing, and shoving now that we have the app. Obviously, we want the tip feature on there. But we're trying to get video messages where you can tip a certain amount, make a video message, and then certain times during the week we'll do shows where we play those messages, answer those questions, highlight those comments, and do videos about those topics. So I'm very excited that hopefully the team is going to be working on that next. I love that platform. I love you guys. It is not about left or right. It's about right and wrong. Over 200 watching on the tube. Get it to 100 before I go, and make that free rock.